your boy Tavian Coleman. This is another episode of Modern Day Millionaire, and I'm here with my friend Derek.
Yes, sir.
My boy Derek, and he has a great mind, and this channel is pretty much just about adding value to y'all's lives. Let's have a conversation with my boy Derek, and let's see where it takes us. Make sure you guys like, make sure you guys subscribe, and let's get the video rolling. Anything you want to talk?
Man, we got a lot to say. Let's get to it.
Let's do it. Alright, so I'm here with my guy Derek. He's pretty much in sales over at this place called Micro Center. It's in my city. I don't know if it's in your city. And he's pretty much focused on different parts of developing himself, and he's pretty much focused on video. He does all types of things, and I just want him to be able to add some value to you guys. Derek, tell him pretty much a little bit about yourself. Tell him about certain things you're interested in, and just tell him, if you feel like you have any value to add, just go ahead and let him know that there are people just like you out there. Right now, everybody knows that there's people just like you out there. There's people just like me. There's probably somebody that looks like me.
Yeah.
There's somebody that looks like me in the same room. Yeah. So I mean, there's got to be more people that look just like me that want to do the same things that I'm doing. I don't like putting people on spot. But what you got for him, Derek?
All right. So again, my name is Derek. I'm 19. Honestly, so a little bit about myself. I grew up all over the place. I wasn't in the military, but I lived in so many different places that you would think I was.
You gotta adapt.
Yeah, you gotta adapt. So the biggest influence that had on me growing up was the fact that you just experience a whole different level of people. You see different cultures, different levels of income, different everything. Like if you live in so many different places, you're bound to see the good and the bad. So, seeing what some people had when I was growing up that I didn't have, and then seeing what people didn't have that I did have growing up just showed me how life can really go either way. It's really about you.
Yeah, and I mean, like I've been trying to teach everyone, I don't think I touched on this yet, but you have to understand that your thoughts and your subconscious mind is formed by your habits. So say, all I do is gamble each and every single day. My habits are going to be more than likely going to be addicted to gambling. That one's super obvious, but there's so many examples I could give. Just let your mind ponder on that for a little, and just, you guys, let me know in the comments if you have any addictions. Say you're addicted to collecting Pokemon cards or whatever. You've been doing this since you were like 8.
Yeah.
And everyone has certain addictions, and just being aware that you're addicted to certain things, or it's a habit, and being able to recognize that and accept that. And if the projection that addiction or that that vice or whatever you want to call it, those habits that are formed subconsciously aren't projecting to where that you want to go in life. Say I want to be a millionaire. Well, if I'm addicted to playing video games like I used to, what millionaire do you know that's not a professional gamer?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. There's professional what
that just sits around all day.
Yeah, that sits around and plays video games. I mean,
that aren't already made.
Yeah, I mean, if you have aspirations, that's what this channel's for. And I'm gonna be doing a series called The One Percenters, and you can be a 1%er in monetary value. You can have that 1% knowledge and how to gain money, but you can be that other 99% in something else, such as self-confidence, focus, certain things you just don't know how to do. And Derek, I want you to tell me what makes somebody a 1%, or what you feel like adds that next tier to someone, say at your job, or that you've seen in life. Just what puts somebody over the top to where you're like, okay, yeah, they're a 1%.
So the biggest thing, honestly, that a lot of people don't talk about is discipline. Like if you want to do something, you gotta do it. Like for example, thing every single day. While it's the same thing, it's also many different things, different situations, different people, you know. And when you do the same thing day in and day out, if you're not sticking to what the proper thing is that's going to work for you, if you're going outside of the rules or you're doing things your way that aren't working, you're never going to have success if you don't sit and really think about what you're doing.
And you know, you just touched on a principle. Sorry to cut you off, but this is powerful though. So, the most successful people in the world, they think about what works, what doesn't work. They cut out what doesn't work, spend more time focused on what does work, and those are the most successful people. And how to improve it, analyze it.
The biggest thing for me is like, you can't put yourself in a position where you always blame other people or you blame, you know, certain situations around you. Like for example, I'm in sales, so you got guys that do the same thing as me, that work the same hours as me, that make $35K a year, and you got people that work less hours than me doing the same thing that make $200,000 a year, standing in a retail store selling computers. And the biggest reason that I wanted to talk about this exactly is because, you know, I'm 19, I did not go to college, and I'm already in a position where I feel like I'm more comfortable than I would have been 5 years after getting a degree, because you know, when older people tend to tell you things like this, they always want to tell you to go to school. And I'm not saying don't go to school. If you have a plan, go to school and follow your plan. But don't go to school blind. There's people that work at my job right now that have degrees like completely outside of the field that we're in, that they don't use that.
Yeah, and I mean, I love higher establishments of learning. You know, college is great. You know, however, there's nothing that's equivalent to a real world business education.
Yeah.
And that's so powerful. It's in a book called The Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki. If you guys haven't read that book, you should really check it out. It really tells you certain things that you would never even think about. Like, what if I told you guys that you could literally get a real world business education? A real world business education. That, you know, so you're like, what is a real world business education? A real world business education is for those people that feel lost and they want to do something so deep from within their soul, they just don't know where to start. And you have to start with your mind and recognizing your habits, both positive and negative, and not positive. No habits are positive and negative. Your habits are positive or negative in correlation to your trajectory and where you see yourself. If your habits are positive for that trajectory where you see yourself, then continue those habits and improve upon them. And if those habits are negative for your trajectory, you want to simply eliminate them. Don't think about it. Do not think about it. Just eliminate them. Eliminate those people around you that you don't see adding value to your life, because that's simply what it's about.
And just like you ended that on a perfect point by adding the fact that it's not always just habits, it's people too sometimes. Personally, I think the biggest thing that's holding me back in life is not my age itself, but the fact that I still, even though I feel like I'm very mature for my age and I'm way ahead of people that are in the same age bracket as me, I feel like I'm still held back by having a slightly childish mentality when it comes to certain things like gossip and drama and just being around the wrong type of people. Like, if what you're doing, whatever you do, you're gonna have people that want to do the same thing as you, and you're gonna have people surrounding you trying to do the same thing that you're doing. But some of those people are gonna be childish, some of those people are gonna be all about drama, all about gossip, and they're only gonna see the negative in what you're doing. They're only gonna complain about why it's not working for them, why they're not growing.
And yeah, and to add to that, there's also people that will see what you're doing, and they will tell you every single reason why it won't work.
Yeah.
Don't focus on how you can't, just focus on how you can. Don't focus on what can go wrong, focus on how you can do things right. And there's so many people that are stuck in the old mindset of, you know, this can go wrong, this can go wrong. Do you know that there's twice as much information on the internet every single day? No matter what problem that you run into, I guarantee you someone has been in that exact same position before. So, I'm pretty much in between jobs right now. I'm currently serving at a restaurant. I'm in the restaurant industry, and I'm going to start my job as a car salesman this coming up Tuesday, and I just want you guys to understand that someone has been in this position before. I was just watching, shout out Tony Sweber, a good friend of mine. I was watching his live stream, and it was funny because a guy on his live stream was like, hey, I'm Tony, I'm in the restaurant business, and I don't want to be in the restaurant business anymore. What do you think about going into car sales? And I'm like, I'm thinking, how much value could I add to this guy's life just by simply explaining to him that I'm in the same position, but I'm actually diving into those waters? You should never fear the unknown. Guys, never fear the unknown, because any idea that's either feared or revered will begin to clothe itself in the most convenient and readily available reality. It will clothe itself. Your subconscious thoughts control your arms, your legs. Our habits go all the way down to things as simple as eating right. Things like this, it starts small, but do not micromanage anything. You have to do everything with blind faith. Like we're literally standing in a laundromat because everyone was asleep at my house and we couldn't record. It's
1:40.
1:40
in the morning.
1:40 in the morning.
Easter Sunday, 1:40 in the morning.
Easter, oh yeah, man. All praise to the Most High. It's just, his house, everybody was sleeping in my house, everybody was sleeping in his house, and so we made the decision. You guys can go check out my last video. I just posted it. It's about making a conscious decision that controls your subconscious actions. Me and him both made the decision, and me and him both have very powerful minds to record this video tonight. We both set our minds to it. I'm recording this video, and once you always run into things that might not go your way, but instead of rolling with the punches, like we were like, okay, everybody sleep at my house, everybody sleep at his house. You know what? We're going to throw that right hook, and we're gonna just go. That right hook. It's funny. It sounds funny because I'm comparing a right hook to walking somewhere, like walking into a laundromat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just like you have to control your own destiny. And I just want this video to touch as many lives as it can. And as much as I do want to touch everyone's life, and I want to motivate you guys, and I want to add value to your life, I want you guys to remember that everything you're doing, it has to be done out of love. And don't be afraid to have fun. I think that there's a nice mix of an 80-20 principle that you should be working and have all these habits and very productive habits set up. But 20% of the time you can have fun. Make sure you get your mind free. You have to let loose. What do you think about that? Like, let's just think about that for a second. As much as we can add value to people's life, there's people out there that are suffering from depression and anxiety for the simple fact that they overthink things, that take life way too seriously. And we can go as fast as we want through life. We can go at warp speed, but it's all about maintaining composure and staying calm. That's literally what it is. Literally.
You gotta really just think about everything that you do, realize how it might affect you and affect other people. As far as letting loose goes, I mean, you gotta really do it to let loose. Like, if you turn to drugs or alcohol and that's what you do to let loose, don't do it just to numb yourself. Like, I really don't recommend doing any hard drugs. I know a lot of alcoholics too. I'm not gonna tell you not to do it because, everyone makes their own decisions, but if you're gonna do something to let loose, don't do it just to numb your brain. Do it to actually take a minute to relax and be to yourself. Because that's the one thing, is like, let's say you just got out of a bad relationship and you're just drinking. Why are you drinking, right? Like,
you won't be able to recover.
Exactly. You're gonna be worse when you go back to normal, because what you're gonna do is you're gonna have that first night of drinking where you don't feel anything, and then you're gonna continue to just drink, and you're gonna keep not feeling anything. You're not gonna look into the situation to realize why it happened. You're not gonna look into the situation to realize how this affects you moving forward, or if it really even matters. I mean, when it comes to relationships, there's how many billion people in the world? Like,
There's so many.
there's so many people in the world.
There's, you know, you get out of one relationship and there's more than 7 billion
Yeah,
other
there's so many
people.
people.
I mean, depends on what you want to do. 7 billion people.
So many. So when it comes to letting loose, like you don't have to drink, you don't have to smoke. I mean, for me, honestly, letting loose is coming home from work and just laying down and watching something. Cause you know, I feel like when you're young and you're trying to put stuff together, you're gonna live a very stressful life. But you gotta know how to manage that. Cause if you just have all this stress built up and you don't know what to do with it, you're gonna break.
Yeah, and that's where people develop these anxiety issues, and that's where people develop, you know, and sickness doesn't come from the body just breaking down. Your body breaks down when you have it at a bad vibration. And you can go look all this stuff up. Go look up this guy named Bob Proctor. He's one of the greatest minds that I've ever listened to. Go read a book called Think and Grow Rich with it. These principles are, you know, back and proven. I haven't done the research myself with these wealthy people. However, I'm surrounding myself with all the same knowledge and all the same habits and all the same traits that I see in them and that I've researched and read in these books. Like I said, look up Bob Proctor, read a book called Think and Grow Rich. If your vibrations and you're clenched like this, your entire spirit is clenched like this, you know, how long can you clench your fist as hard as you possibly can? Try it. Clench your fist as hard as you possibly can. It's gonna get tired pretty quickly. And if you're just moving like this with the water, if any of you guys are Bruce Lee fans out there, how about this? Be like water. Like Bruce Lee said, it's literally that simple. These things are so simple, guys. Everyone thinks you have to be this super intelligent person to become rich, to become all this and that. There are very dumb people, very stupid people, traditionally dumb people that are very rich, very wealthy, because they understand these basic principles about life. And let's go on a journey, guys. Just take your mind on a journey. Release all predetermined, you know, judgments that you may have about any of this information, and just understand that you have to move freely. You have to be a free spirit. How about think of the kindest person you know. You feel as if that person is at a very low vibration, a calm vibration. Think of the kindest person you know. Or do you feel like or do you feel relaxed and you feel like, wow, you know, they're so sweet, you know, they're so nice, you know, and you know, there's always those super intense people. I like to think of myself as a mixture, but I'm definitely a lover. You know, you definitely have to sprinkle love into everything that you do, and you know, I love all of you guys, you know, just for viewing this video. Thank you for just even taking the time out of your day to check it out, to check us out. You know, this is my friend Derek. I'm gonna get him into some, you know, maybe some sales training for you guys, or even, you know, he knows a lot about multiple different things, and we're just gonna see and use this platform to dive into the minds of the 1% in every area. And we're gonna go ahead, and if you guys want to be a part of it, reach out to me. You know, make sure you guys hit that bell to make sure that you know every time I post a new video. And like, subscribe. Definitely subscribe though, because you guys are gonna want to keep up with this. This is powerful content, and you know, modern day millionaire checking out.
Alright, man. Y'all have a good day. Make sure, like you said, follow, subscribe, do what you gotta do. Links in the description.